Another high-power herb, which it's not on my top 10 list though, but it's a high-power herb used to clean the mucus from the lung, mullein. The mullein is a species of plant native to North Africa, right? In Asia, right? North Asia, right? It grows in America and in Australia, right? It is a hairy-looking plant that get about 2 meters tall, right? And this is what it looked like right here in the forest. It has like a white type filmy look on it, on some of the plant, and it got buds on it, right? This is how it look when you see it in the forest. It removes mucus from the small intestine, right? It cleanses the chest and the neck area of the throat area of mucus, right? This is some high power mucus release here, right? They charging you $25 for some Mucinex, right? And it ain't doing nothing, it ain't removing nothing. But if you go get some of this MULLEIN, right, and start popping a couple of them joints in there, right, it'll knock that mucus right out your lung. You can kill bronchitis, right? Bronchitis right here knocks bronchitis out of the box. You mix some of this with some elderberry, man, you got some high-powered, lung cleansing herbs right there, brothers. Also, this is very good for asthma, right? And a lot of people got asthma because they don't drink enough water, right? Usually if you drink enough water, you won't need to worry about asthma, right? Also, it's good for pneumonia because pneumonia is when mucus is in the lungs. And this is good for removing the pneumonia from the lungs and the mucus from the lungs. So we want to get this in your mind so you understand these things. The guaco plant, which is not on my top 10 herb list, but it is powerful in the instruments of using to cure these particular diseases. Guaco also has potassium phosphate, which is very instrumental in rebuilding the cells in the body, right? And you also add this in there. You can throw this in there to somebody that got AIDS, right? This is a powerful stuff here. Guaco is native to Brazil, in South America and the West Indies islands where it grows heavily, right? This is what it looked like in the forest, so you get a good look at it, right? And it is used for cough and cold. It cleanses the blood and the skin, and it attacks inflammation, right? So it attacks mucus in certain areas and on certain joints, right? So it's very good for arthritis. It increases the urinary flow. It's also very high on iron and potassium phosphate, which is very instrumental in helping your immune system out, right? These are some of the herbs that Dr. SEBI used on diabetes patients, right? Nepal or cactus leaf, also referred to as prickly pear cactus. It's considered one of the oldest groups within the cactus family, right? There are about 150 different species of cactus, right? This prickly cactus grows heavily in the United States and can be found in New Mexico and Montana, right? And east of Florida and in Massachusetts. The Native Americans used to use this cactus to do healing, the medicine man, right? This is a very powerful herb here, brothers and sisters. The prickly pear cactus. Right? And this is what it looks like when you go into the forest or to the desert areas, to the mountain range areas. This is what it looked like. Reduces type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, and obesity. This is some powerful stuff here. We want you to know these things. It also helps decrease sugar level, right, in type 2 diabetes patients, right? Rorique, right, which is a high-power herb that Dr. SEBI used for diabetes patients, which we as Native Americans call coyote melon, right, is a very powerful herb. It's not on my top 10 list, but it's very powerful at curing diabetes, right? And it grows in Southern California real good, and in top parts of Mexico, extremely good, okay? So this is a powerful herb, and this is what it looked like. This is what it grows, this is how it grows, and this is what it looked like. When you see it, you know what it is, right? This lower blood sugar help cleanse the pancreas and the pancreas duct and also reduce weight loss. Dr. SEBI also said that this particular herb works better with bitter melon. Prodigiosa, another powerful herb that grows heavily in northern Mexico, all over Mexico, and South America, and it grows in random areas, right, in the United States, right? You can find this herb growing all over, right? And this is what it looked like when you see it in the forest. Stimulates the pancreas, reduce blood sugar levels, and motivates fat digestion in the gallbladder. Like we said, you can get you some bitter melon, which is good for diabetes. The bitter melon is widely grown in Asia, Africa, and the Caribbean islands. It is an edible fruit. right? Very powerful and instrumental in type 2 diabetes. They help reduce blood sugar levels, help stimulate the pancreas, right? It's some powerful vegetables here. If you take about 2,000 grams of this bitter metal a day, it can decrease your sugar real good. It can make your blood and your pancreas start flowing real good. This is some powerful vegetable here. Another great herb used for Dr. SEBI for diabetes is the sensitive plant called tamarind. The sensitive plant, also known as the humble plant, also known as tamarind, right, is a native plant to South and Central America. The plant is widely spread in tropical regions, right, and its naturalization everywhere in warm areas. It can naturally produce in warm areas, right? You might have seen some of this stuff in a couple places, right? It's a very powerful plant, right? Drinking the juice of this plant, putting this in your juice, right? The juice of this plant is powerful, especially if you do it in the morning if you're a diabetic. Getting the juice off this plant. Some powerful stuff, man. Another one we like to put up there, right, but it's not in my top 10 list, stinging nettle. It is native, right, of temperatures of Asia and Western North Africa. It is now found widely, right, in New Zealand and North America, right, which is a powerful herb used. Stinging nettle is used for treating diabetes patients. It lowers the A1C, it lowers the blood sugar level, and get that stuff going, get that pancreas flowing. Another herb on our list is called animal. And this is a powerful herb here too. It's a powerful herb for diabetes that lowers the blood sugar. Animal, right, native to Florida and the lower Rio Grande Valley of Texas, right, in the United States, Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean islands, and the tropical parts of South America and Africa, right? And this is another powerful plant, right? Check that out, animal. Herbo del Sapo has been used for many years, right? Another powerful herb. It's not on my top 10 list, but it's real powerful and instrumental in diabetes. Native to Central America and Mexico, right? And some parts in South America and Southern California. It's a very powerful herb, and this is what it looks like in the forest. Like I say, you also can order the pill form of these things and take them, but you have to take a lot of them, right? Versus taking them raw. It helps lower your blood sugar as well. It also helps bust up kidney stones in the kidneys, which is causing people to be on dialysis. Right, about to get into that. This herb here is also a very powerful herb for cleansing out the arteries, keeping you from having to get them triple bypasses, right? Because they try to make money off of people. $70,000 for a heart surgery, right? So this is a good herb for the heart. Some powerful stuff. Another high-powered herb on my top 10 list is called chaparral, which grows in the mountains in Northern California, all the way on the mountains down to Mexico, right? This is a powerful herb here, brothers and sisters. It cleans the lymphatic system. This is one of the herbs that you will prescribe to someone who has herpes or AIDS, right? Because we want that lymphatic system cleansed out so we can cleanse that blood. Okay? It also cleans the gallbladder and removes heavy metals out of the body, because a lot of this food that they're serving us has got metals in it, right? It's got plastic in it, right? This chaparral goes in there and busts that metal up, attaches it because it has magnetic electric energy. This is what Dr. SEBI was talking about when he said electric food, right? So this has different properties, electric foods, that are cleaning that lymphatic system, cleaning that gallbladder, because that's two things that we got to clean out when we cleansing the body. Another powerful herb, instrumental in lowering blood sugar and diabetes, is cinnamon, right? Grows real good in India and South America, in the western parts of Africa, right? And this is a very powerful herb, right? Cinnamon, right? Another powerful herb used is milk thistle, which is a very powerful herb, and it's on my top 10 list, right? It's native plant to the Mediterranean regions, right? North Africa, right? The Middle East, right? And include North America. This is what it looked like in the forest, and it's very good for flushing out the liver and cleansing the liver and ridding the liver of disease. And it's good for the skin, okay? The epidermic areas, and removing mucus from the liver and the skin. skin, right? Which is very important. Also, celery lowers blood sugar levels, right? So celery is a good vegetable used to drop that sugar level. So we just want to go over these things with you. And these are powerful herbs. There are a couple more other herbs that you can add to the list, but we just wanted to cover the main ones with you for diabetes, right? Now we're about to get into the kidney dialysis herbs that you can use to bust up those calcifications in the kidneys, right? Because when you got kidney dialysis, it's dealing around the calcification, right, in the kidneys, which they're calling kidney stones. Lily of the Valley is one of the powerful herbs used in the aiding with dialysis, right? Which is very high on iron and potassium phosphate, which are the two main ingredients in helping people on dialysis. It is also used as a natural diuretic and is good for your heart. And this is what it looked like in the forest. Lily of the Valley is native to Europe and Asia and North America, right? It goes good in the shade. And this is what it looked like. Irish sea moss, which is one of my top 10, right? Top 10 in the top three herbs, right? The Irish sea moss contains over 100 minerals that is needed, right? This is one of the most powerful herbs on the planet. Right, Irish sea moss. Get them babies flowing, right? This right here herb, it gets you some babies in no time. How you think Dr. SEBI was producing babies at 82 years old or 80-something years old, right? It's also high on iron, right? It's also an herb that you can prescribe to revitalize the cells, right? With all the necessary minerals. This is some powerful stuff here. Dr. SEBI also recommends that people that's on dialysis get that liquid iron and start taking about 2 or 3 teaspoons every morning, drinking a lot of water, right? Pretty much fasting, not eating at all. If you can't fast, right, you could go to the alkaline dietary diet that we provided to you in the previous tapes and stay away from the foods that we told you about. Then after you take the iron and start flushing out, building up your iron, right? Then you can begin to take the potassium phosphates, right? And the Lily of the Valley is one of these herbs that is high on these things. Another one, Sarsaparilla root, which is a powerful herb that's high on iron, native to North America and South America and the West Indies islands. The best is found in Jamaica. We recommend the kind from Jamaica, right? This is very high on iron and very instrumental in dialysis, right? It grows in tropical places. And this is what it looked like when you see it in the forest. We're going after the root though, right? Which is where the healing properties are. Kankanza is an African plant. It has the highest concentration of potassium phosphate, which is used in the aid of curing dialysis, right? Very powerful, native to Africa. Another herb on my top 10 list is Bladderwrack. It is a natural diuretic that flushes excess stagnant fluids from the body and flushes dead cells. It is high on calcium and potassium phosphate. It's a very powerful herb, right? And this is what it looks like in the forest. You can also order it in the pill form, right? We ask that you take high doses of it, and like we said, you must stick to the alkaline diet, and if you can fast, we would recommend that you fast with this, okay? Bladderwrack, stingy nettle, and dandelion, which are herbs that I mentioned previously, are also powerful and instrumental in dialysis and flushing and cleansing the body. And like we say, if you want to stay healthy, you must stick to the alkaline diet. You must drink the water, the right amount of water, and you must stick to this diet because this is very important. You must be disciplined. You must discipline yourself, okay? There's a powerful herb called Pear, right? Which is very instrumental in busting up and breaking down herpes, AIDS, and cancer, right? It busted up all of them, right? It's very powerful herb. It also helps shrink brain tumors, get rid of prostate cancer, right? And stimulates the pancreas. It is an indigenous tree found in the Amazon rainforest. It's a very powerful herb used to kill cancer cells, right? Way better than chemotherapy, which don't distinguish, right? It's an acid approach. And you already know what radiation is, right? Used to kill cells, and they kill, about the radiation or the chemo don't distinguish good cells from bad cells, it just kill all cells. But this particular herb goes in and kills and attacks cancer cells. This particular herb is able to attach itself to cancer cells in the brain and remove them. This is a powerful herb. Cause like the Most High said, the herbs are for the healing of the nation, right? It also purifies the blood and the liver and boosts the immune system. Next powerful, this is right here, a fruit that's on our list that's very powerful in aiding and curing cancer. It's called soursop, right? It grows in Jamaica too. It grows in the West Indies Islands, right? Kind of like it looks like a melon with spikes on it, native to South America and the West Indies Islands. The leaves and the extract from these plants is 10,000 more times than chemotherapy, right? The Most High is way advanced than you know. The Most High already knew that cancer was gonna come, so he put the soursop here as a remedy, right? To aid in breaking and busting up these cancer cells. Also, soursop help boost the immune system, right? And this is what they look like, right? So you get a good picture of what they look like. These cancer-fighting herbs should be consumed in abundance, along with the sea moss, right? And other herbs that pertain potassium phosphate, because these are cell revitalization that we're dealing with here. Bladderwrack as well, that we talked about previously, is a good herb to add to fight cancer, right? Because you must cleanse the parts of the body, especially the colon, the liver, right? The skin, the gallbladder. These parts must be cleansed out of the mucus in order to rid the body of the disease. Keep in mind, Bladderwrack, for those who got hyperthyroid, you might want to lean off the Bladderwrack because it can be harmful to those who got thyroid. We're going to get into that too. Also, marijuana with the THC, which really stands for 2 hours of consciousness. We talked about that on the other tape called You Want to Know About Drugs or Who Created Drugs. Go take out those tapes. But what we're after in the marijuana is the CBD, which is a healing property used to fight cancer cells. And it works great on cancer cells, okay? To have a little THC in there is not bad because you need that 2 hours of consciousness. You know what I'm saying? We'll get into that. Marijuana is a great one to incorporate if you can, but it's still illegal in some states. So you gotta be very careful when dealing around with that deal. Another powerful herb, which we talked about previously, is animal, right? You can take some of that and it knocks and kills out cancer cells, okay? Red clover is another powerful herb, right? And this is what it looked like when you see it. And it's used in the aid of reducing thyroids. Red cloves purify the blood, it shrinks tumors, and promotes and helps the nervous system. It also helps females have babies, right? Because it stimulates their reproduction organs. So the man taking that Irish sea moss and the women taking that red clover, it's a combination for a baby right there, boy. Pudica, which is another herb used to shrink tumors and used against fibroids, right? There's also a blood purifier and helps with lymphatic congestion, and it also helps with yeast infections to break down and remove the bacteria in the yeast infections. Chaparral, which we told you about in the previous tape, helps shrink tumors and is also used in the aiding of breaking down those fibroids. It's a very powerful herb right here. We talked about it already. Red raspberry leaf, which is also used for heavy menstrual bleedings, right? Also used against tumors and to remove toxins from the uterus. In a process what they call back in the day, old school women, dush. Another herb we want to add against thyroids is shepherd purse, which is used against menstrual bleeding. Also used as a good diuretic, right? And this is what it looked like. And like we say, you can order the pill form as well. But we would recommend you take these raw. We give you one more. Peony, which is used for abnormal cramps, abnormal period, right? For women, help to reduce bad cramp, okay? So we're trying to go over this fast because we run out of time here. Stinging nettle as well is good for in this particular line of stinging nettle, which we talked about previously, right? You should also take spinarello and the Irish moss to revitalize the cells and remineralize the cells, right? And drink a lot of water, okay? There's another herb we want to add called eucalyptus, which cleanses the skin and the epidermic area and used to induce sweat, right? To remove toxins from the skin and the body. Oregano oil essentials, right? Which should be diluted either with olive oil or coconut oil for patients with herpes and spread it on their lower spinal area where herpes lie dormant, right? This is a very powerful herb, oregano, used to bust up those herpes, right? Also refer back to the skin cleansings and all of the other cleansers that are necessary, such as dandelion, burdock root, these things to cleanse the body and rid the body. Keep in mind, you should stick to the alkaline diet. We will hope that you will fast, right, for at least 3 to 30 days, at least 14 days, but some people are not able to fast, so we recommend you stick to the alkaline diet chart during the fasting to drink juices and water and take the cleansing herb. A couple more herbs I want to add before we get out of here. Black seed oil, which is very powerful, right? Monatomic gold, right? Which is very powerful. And apple cider vinegar, right? Which we use for a couple things. Apple cider vinegar is good for cleansing the blood and lowering the blood pressure, right? And 2 more herbs, which Dr. SEBI, if he was still alive, be slapping me in the back of the head for saying these 2 herbs right here. Echinacea gold seal, which is good for the immune system, but it's unnatural according to Dr. SEBI. So, right, it's like optional for you, right? And garlic. Garlic is a powerful herb, man-made herb that we created as Africans a long time ago that has a natural antibiotic that kills strep, right? If you smoke cigarettes and you get that strep, it kills strep, right? So we just want to put those things out, man. And we hope that, that these things will help for you. And we want you to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. This is Also Ice, the young elder. We're about to get ready to close out tonight, man. We want to say we love you all, and we hope that these classes and these herbs were beneficial to you all. And we're gonna win this war. Why? Because we can dance and they can't.